Hello everyone and welcome to On the Hook Crochet. I'm Jeannie and we talk about wearable crochet style. So let's find out what's on the hook today. I have several things I want to talk to you about. But first of all, some progress on the sweater that I've been working on out of the pink cotton. And it's just a quick update, but I did finish the back. I'm still working at the very top of the back. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. But I went ahead and started the front because I had a little time, and so I chained up, and I decided that the back of the sweater was just a little big. After I got it made, I noticed that when I put it up to myself, side seam to side seam, if you have jeans on, for example, and you measure it, you put it right there on the side seam and come around. Well, see how much too big that is? I mean, it's kind of big because the side seam is right about here. So I was thinking, you know, with the stretch that we get out of this particular pattern and yarn, I thought that I would make the front just a little bit smaller. So what I've done is I chained up, but I chained up probably 10 stitches less. And show you this. There are some loose ends there, but you can see it. There's that much difference in the front and the back. And I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to seam them up like normal, and the back will give just a little bit more than the front, and the front won't be saggy. So that's another way. I'm just kind of fine-tuning my pattern. And usually after I make something once, twice, 3 times, the third time is a charm. First one's okay, the second one's a little better, and the third one is usually pretty much how I like it to look. So that is using a J hook and Jeannie's design. It's not anything totally special. It's just half double crochet. Double crochet, crochet fabric, and then sewn together and then adjusted. So we'll see how that goes later. Also, people ask me what I have on. This is a scarf that I made. One of the very first videos I ever did. I was scared to death, and I talked about this scarf, and it's out of the silk yarn that I got from Expression Fiber Arts, Shandy over there, and I bought this and I found it and I made a scarf out of it. So I wanted you to see that. It's a beautiful scarf, and I actually do wear it in the summertime because when I go, especially grocery shopping, and I go to the frozen foods aisle, and you probably have experienced this, it's 12 degrees in there. And I don't like going in there with, you know, a summer top on and feeling that cold air all over me. I just, you know, so I wear a scarf every now and then when I go to the grocery store in the summertime. But that's okay. I take it off when I get out to the car because it's 100 degrees in the car. So I've learned to live with the weather the way it is. But I'm sure y'all probably had that happen as well. The second thing I want to talk about is, you know that I'm a KnitCrate subscriber. I've been getting their boxes. I think I've gotten 2 or 3 at this point. And I really, really like them. I think the yarn in there is fantastic. It helps me to step out of my comfort zone as far as sizes of yarn, types of yarn, hand-dyed yarns. I really have grown to love getting yarn in a hank and then caking it and touching it and working with it before I even start crocheting. I just think that is such a great experience. So I got this email this morning, and you may get them yourselves if you're a KnitCrate subscriber. And it says use this offer code and you'll get 55% off the membership price of yarns that we have in stock. And they're all yarns that have been in the boxes sent out monthly, and I guess they're yarns they have left over, so they're just going to cut them loose and let them go. So I immediately had to see about that because the last time I got that email, it wasn't 55%, it was way less than that, but it was enough, $20 I think is what it was. It was enough to get me to order a 3-pack of the Titmouse fingering yarn that I got the month before. So I have 3 full hanks of that just sitting over there looking at me going, what are you going to do with us? And I honestly didn't know, and I'm usually a better planner than that. I usually plan much better than that, but I did not do that this time because it was on such a great sale. I mean, I got it for so cheap. So I went out to look at the KnitCrate offerings today, and I found a color that I just couldn't resist. It's called Celery, and it's a hand-dyed yarn in different shades of light green. It is absolutely beautiful. Green is my favorite color. So I thought, because of that, I'm just going to buy some. So I signed up to buy 2, and I realized they were sock yarn, okay? Not interested in sock yarn. But I did come across a pattern one day, not too long ago, where the designer talked about crocheting 2 hanks of sock yarn together. So you would just, put the yarn together and crochet them as one. And I've done that many times with size 4 yarn. I've done that before, but never with sock yarn. And I guess since sock yarn is probably a 2, 2 2s equal a 4. I don't know if that's how it works or not. I've never really known the answer to that, but I'm going to find out. So I bought 2 hanks of the green, and when I got the total, it was so low, and I can't tell you any numbers. I don't remember even how much it was, but it wasn't very much. I just got 4 hanks. I just went crazy because it was so cheap. It was like, I think what it ended up being like $10 a hank, okay, for hand-dyed wool. And the combination is wool 75%, nylon 25%. So it's probably going to have a really nice drape, and I could probably get away with wearing it in the spring and fall. I would guess maybe even late summer, depending on, how cold the air conditioner is in a restaurant. So I bit the bullet and I bought 4 hanks of that. So I'm excited. It was like $40 for 4 hanks. And when I was at the yarn festival, I was paying way more than that for hand-dyed yarn. And I'm not complaining, because I know it's hard to do. I appreciate people who hand-dye their yarn. I totally appreciate that. But when somebody throws it out there for $10 a hank, I try to find some that I can live with. And so this looks like a really nice choice, and I'll show it to you when it arrives. But I just ordered it this morning. And the third thing I wanted to talk to you about is the other day, when I finished my Joni Topper, I said, I'm not making this again. Well, I can eat my words like I do a lot of the time. But I've decided that I'm going to make it again. And I'm going to make it with some adjustments to the pattern. And I'll show you in just a minute. Crystal's modeling for me over here. She's waiting in the wings, and I'm going to bring her out here, and we're going to talk about it just for a second. But I found in the pattern one mistake that I finally figured out why it had kind of thrown me when I first started working on this particular article. And so I went out and I found the original pattern, and it's still there. So I filled the number in that it should be, and I know what the number should be. But it was just left off, and when I was counting over to see how many stitches I needed, I skipped over that, and because it wasn't there. And I haven't said anything to Sorella yet, but she can easily go out there and put the number in there. It's not a big deal. But I wanted to invite you to make the Joni Topper with me. I know this is a step out. I'm not going to do a tutorial, and honestly, she doesn't have a tutorial. I thought she did, but I went out today and it wasn't there. So I'm sure she didn't take it down. She probably just never did one, because it's a pretty easy pattern to do, and you don't have to work that hard to figure out how to work it, how to make it. So I was in Walmart yesterday for a particular purpose. I heard on another podcast that Walmart had comfy cotton blend yarn. And the last time I was in Joann's, I didn't see it. And I went to Michael's yesterday and I didn't see it. So I ended up, instead of going to Hobby Lobby, where they really rarely have anything that's a brand name. Most of their yarns are their own brand, and I love them dearly, but they aren't the comfy cotton blend, which is what I was looking for. So I went to Walmart and I found 4 different colors, and they had the whipped cream that I made the Joni Topper out of to begin with, and they had a couple of tweeds and some other odd color. So I ended up with a color called Driftwood. It is not my favorite color, but it is the tweedy color that Sorella shows on her Joni Topper, and I should have done it to begin with, but I didn't do it. Let me show you that picture. This is This is the color she got, and it's a pink and gray. They did not have that color at Walmart yesterday, because that's the color I was going for, but they didn't have it. And I thought, I'm just going to make it anyway, because I'm going to invite my subscribers and my watchers to follow along with me like you do on all my projects, and I appreciate that. Some of you ask me questions in between videos. It's really cute, and I don't mind answering at all. But there's no tutorial on this, and I don't plan to do a tutorial where I show, you know, the actual stitches and how to do them, because you really need to know how to do double crochet, chain. That's pretty much it. It's really not hard to do at all. So I'm inviting you to go along with me and make one at the same time I'm making it. And I don't mean to do a tutorial for you, but I mean just, you know, I'll show you my progress, and you can kind of check it with yours. It might be really easy to do, and some of you have been anxious about making your very first wearable crochet, and this is a perfect pattern for that, because there are no sleeves and there's no real fitting to it. It fits right in here, and that's pretty much it. The rest of it is very loose and very giving. The back, it comes down like that on the back, so there's no side seams to worry about, nothing, and it's made in one piece from left to right front. So it's ideal for somebody just starting out to make their first wearable crochet, and it's successful. It'll have to be, because it's really not that hard to make. So I bought the driftwood, and this is the color. It's brown. It has a lot of browns, different shades of brown, and it has some blue in there. And I thought with jeans that would be cute. I can get away with that. And maybe a tan shirt, or maybe even a navy blue shirt and some white pants or something like that. So that's my plan. And when I remember back making the whipped cream Joni Topper out of the comfy cotton yarn, it only took me really one cake to get it done. If I had adjusted it the way I'm going to show you now, I could have gotten it in of one cake. But buy two, and they're like $3 or $4.99 a piece. They're not real expensive. For 10 bucks, you can make the vest. There's no buttons. There's no pattern cost. It's a free pattern on Sewrella's website. So for $10, you can make an article of clothing for yourself and be proud of yourself for making it. I think it's awesome. So this is what I've gotten done so far. I did my obligatory 3 rows. I chained up, and then there's a row of double crochet here, very simple. And then the next row is a double crochet, chain, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain, skip a stitch. Very simple all the way across. So that's actually row 2. And then row 3, which is where I am in the middle of now, that's another row of double crochet. So you have a row of double crochet, a row of the lace stitch, very easy, and then another row of double crochet. And it continues that way all the way up to the underarm. Now let me show you what I'm going to do with the pattern. Sewrella is taller than me, and I've talked about this before. I am not a tall person. And when I made the Joni Topper, I made it exactly like the pattern except for the fringe, and I added an extra. Come on, Crystal. Sorry. I left her out of the picture. And she's got her arms crossed. Wait a minute, let me uncross her arms so you can see her. All right, so I added the single crochet along the front band and at the bottom and around the back. I did all that, and then I added another row of it. So there are 2 rows of single crochet along the front and along the bottom as well. And I think that's the only change I made, besides I didn't put the fringe on it. That was kind of a, not going to happen kind of thing. But see how long this is? Way too long for me. This is actually sort of my height here. So what I've decided to do is to shorten the vest by 6 rows, all right? 6 rows is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about this much. So we're talking about 3.5 inches or so, about 3 inches or 3.5 inches. So I've got it marked on here. I've got it pulled up, and I've got some stitch markers holding it up right here in the corner, so you can see how long it's going to be. It's just going to be this long right here. And I think that's long enough for a vest for summertime. I don't really need a vest to come down to the top of my legs. I don't need that. It's too hot. So this is how much I'm going to shorten it. So on the pattern, I've already marked it because otherwise I'll blow past it and forget about it and I will make it too long again. But this is the first page of the pattern. This is the free pattern. And right there where it says to rows 4 through 21, and I'm making the small, which is the first number in parentheses, not the one outside there, but the first one. This is an extra small, this is small. And I've shortened it by 6 rows. So I'm going to stop on row 15 instead of row 21. You see that? That's the only change I've made. And then if you're making the extra small, which you may be, this number is missing right here. Let me show you where this needs another number. 50 should be outside the parentheses here for row 2. In row 2, the number 50 is missing on the outside of the parentheses for the extra small size. And you know, if you're not paying attention, you're going to count over 2 numbers and you're going to be into the medium size instead of small like me. So you need to make sure you remember that. And the sizes are extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, and 3X. So it'll fit pretty much anybody. It's really, really a nice pattern. I really love it. So go right out there to Sewrella's and grab that free pattern and buy yourself a couple of, you know, cakes of this Comfy Cotton Blend and crochet along with me. Now, it'll probably be, you know, maybe once a week we'll do an update and progress on it and see how you're doing, or you can just watch me make it. It doesn't matter. But I'm inviting you to make one along with me. And if you have a question, you can put it in the comments of that particular video and ask me a question. I'll be glad to answer it if I can. I'm really good about answering questions. I will answer your questions. So I invite you to crochet along with me, and I probably won't be talking about this again for another several videos. So you've got plenty of time to chain up and do some rows. And what I'll probably do, my next video will probably be when I have it done to the underarm, where she stops on row 20. Actually, it's row, for me, it will be row 15, but the first number there is 21. So if you're making it by the pattern, if you're a tall person, or if you're at least 5'5" or 6", this size will probably be better for you than the adjusted one that I just showed you. So I'll be back when I have the 15 rows done to the bottom of the armhole, and then I'll talk about how you mark the pattern with your stitch markers so that you'll know where to put the straps and the middle back. So it's really not hard, but I can show you how to do that on camera. It's not hard to show. So I just wanted to kind of check with you about that. And if you think you might be crocheting along with me, put a comment down below and tell me that you're going to, you know, crochet along, and I'll be looking for your comments. So anyway, I wanted to let you know about that, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. I really so appreciate it. Y'all have been so sweet, and wonderful comments that are coming in is great. And you know, I have, I don't know, 300 something, 330 subscribers, and at 500, I'm going to do another giveaway. It shouldn't be much longer, and I've got a bag over there that I'm putting things in. So I bought something yesterday that I'm going to put it, that I put in there. So I'm getting the bag ready for the giveaway. So at 500 subscribers, I will do another one, and we'll have some fun with that. So join me next time to find out what's on the hook.